Cave of Winds was a place no one dared to go. Elders said it breathed like a monster and whispered secrets to steal your mind. But now, that was where Obi and Amari had to go. Obi's mother was still asleep when he checked on her. He kissed her forehead gently and slipped away. By morning, they were at the edge of the northern hills. The air grew colder. The trees thinned out. The sky turned cloudy, like it was watching them. They reached a wall of vines that swayed, even though there was no breeze. Obi reached out and pulled them aside. Behind them was a black hole in the rock, round and deep. "The cave," he whispered. Amari took his hand. They stepped into the dark. Inside the cave, it was colder than they expected. Every step echoed. The walls shimmered slightly, like water. Strange symbols glowed faintly. The air felt thick. "Don't talk too loud," Obi whispered. "The cave listens." They walked deeper. The sound of the wind changed. It whispered in many voices, like 1,000 tiny mouths. Amari shivered. "I don't like this." The dog growled. Suddenly a shape moved across the path. A flicker. A shadow. "Did you see that?" Obi asked. "Yes," Amari whispered. They moved carefully. Then they reached a wide space, an underground chamber with a pool of still water in the middle. And there, floating above the water, was the second drumstick. It spun slowly, glowing green. "We found it," Amari said. Obi stepped forward. The wind howled. From the shadows, a tall figure rose. It had no face, only wind swelling where a head should be. "You have come for what is not yours," it said. "We were chosen," Obi said, stepping forward. "Then show me your truth," the spirit said. "Face what you fear most." Suddenly the cave changed. Obi stood alone in his compound. It was burning. His mother was crying. "You left me, Obi," she said. "You chose the drum over your family." "No, I didn't mean to." The fire grew. Then the image vanished. He was back in the cave. Amari was crying. "It showed me my brother. I couldn't save him." The wind spirit stared. "You passed," it said. "The drum does not choose the fearless. It chooses the honest." It vanished into the air. The drumstick floated into Obi's hand. It was warm. The second drumstick glowed softly in Obi's hand. It was colder than the first, like it remembered the wind inside the cave. Together the two sticks pulsed with light, one red and one green. "They feel alive," Amari said, watching them. Obi nodded. "I think they are." The dog barked at the entrance of the cave. "We need to go," Obi said, "before the spirit changes its mind." They stepped out into the light. The hills were quiet again, and the strange music from the wind was gone. Obi looked back once. The vines had already covered the entrance. "What now?" Amari asked. Obi looked toward the horizon. "We found the snake spirit." Amari's face turned pale. "They say its eyes can see into your heart." "I know," Obi said, "but we need the last drumstick." They walked for 2 days, passing through grasslands and tiny villages. They slept in abandoned huts. On the third morning, they reached the big river. It was wide and silent, with mist floating above the water. A narrow path led into the jungle beside it. "This is it," Obi said. The dog whimpered but followed. The trees here were twisted. Some looked like they were watching. Others had faces carved into their trunks, smiling, frowning, crying. "I don't like this place," Amari said. "Me neither," Obi whispered. Suddenly, the jungle went quiet. Even the birds stopped singing. They had entered the snake spirit's land. They followed the path deeper into the jungle. It grew darker with each step. The trees blocked out the sky, and the ground felt soft and wet, like walking on a giant sponge. The dog barked softly. "Something is near," Amari said. Obi stopped. In front of them was a circle of stones. Inside it, a huge serpent coiled. Its eyes glowed gold. Who dares enter my silence? The snake spirit hissed. Obi stepped forward slowly. We seek the last drumstick. The snake lifted its head, tall as a tree. And what will you give in return? Obi looked down at the glowing drumsticks. We don't have much, but we have been chosen. The snake hissed, its tongue flicking. Many have claimed to be chosen. Few have returned. Amari stepped beside Obi. We passed the Cave of Winds. We saw the girl on the drum. The snake's eyes narrowed. Eniola? Obi nodded. She lives? The snake whispered. She's part of the drum now, Amari said. The snake coiled tighter, thinking. Then it slid to the side, revealing a small shrine hidden under a leaf roof. Inside it was the last drumstick, deep blue and covered in strange carvings. You may take it, the snake said, but the price is memory. Memory? Obi asked. The snake slithered closer. One of you must give away a piece of your past. Obi looked at Amari. She looked back. Then Obi stepped forward. Take mine. The snake stared into his eyes. Obi felt cold. He saw flashes of his 5th birthday, his first song, his father's laugh. Then the snake stopped. Obi fell to his knees. What did it take? Amari asked. Obi blinked. I don't remember my father's voice anymore. The snake vanished. The last drumstick floated to Obi's hands. He now held all 3. With the 3 drumsticks in his hands, Obi felt like something had awakened inside him. The sky above the jungle turned from grey to gold, and the trees stopped whispering. Even the wind was quiet now. Amari helped him up. Are you okay? Obi nodded slowly. I don't feel pain. But something is missing. They made their way out of the jungle, back to the river. The water seemed to welcome them now, and the mist was gone. They crossed on a fallen log and headed toward the forest clearing where the heart drum waited. But when they arrived, the drum was gone. What? Amari gasped. It was right here. Obi looked around, confused. Who could have moved it? The dog sniffed the ground and barked toward a trail. Footprints. Big ones. Someone took it, Obi said. Someone knew where we were going. Is it the chief? Amari asked. Maybe. Or something worse. They followed the trail, moving quickly. The footprints led through dry grass and over small hills until they reached an old, broken-down house. Smoke rose from behind it. They crept around to the back and froze. There it was, the heart drum. But this time, it was guarded by masked men, 5 of them, standing in a circle, dressed in black feathers and holding spears. At the center stood Baba Yomi. His face was painted, and in his hands he held a strange brown bowl. They are performing a ritual, Amari whispered. To seal the drum away forever, Obi said. Amari looked at the drumsticks in Obi's hands. What do we do now? We take it back, Obi said, but we'll need help. They ran back to the village. This time, not to hide, but to speak. Obi stood in the square and rang the small bronze bell by the tree. It was only used during emergencies. People gathered, curious and confused. Baba Yomi wasn't there. Obi stood on the old stool and raised his voice. The heart drum is real. It has returned. But our chief wants to destroy it. Gasps rose from the crowd. He says it's cursed, Obi continued. But it's not. It holds the truth of our past. He's hiding something from us. Some elders shook their heads, but one old woman stepped forward. I knew it, she said. Long ago, the chief's father tried to silence the drum. It told a secret he didn't want people to hear. Others began to nod. My grandfather said the drum once spoke of a betrayal, someone whispered. Obi held up the 3 drumsticks. We found them. We passed the Cave of Winds. We met the snake spirit. The drum chose us. Amari stood beside him. We need your help to stop the chief before he locks the drum away forever. People began to murmur. Then Elder Nuru stepped forward. He was limping, bruised, but alive. They tried to silence me, he said, but the spirit spared me. Listen to the children, they speak the truth. The crowd cheered. Obi felt his heart swell. They had found their voice. Now they had an army.